Hi guys, we're Sip and Tell, and this is going to be our final presentation, and I'm Lexi.
I'm Sophie.
I'm Katie.
I'm Kira.
And I'm Carrie.
Okay, so an introduction and summary of our company. Sip and Tell was created as an experience geared towards following COVID-19 restrictions in the majority of the United States. With a base service design of wine and beer tastings, Sip and Tell wanted to redesign this concept to create an online environment available to all no matter the location. Sip and Tell uses the technology of Zoom to create educational wine and beer tastings for groups who aren't able to gather together, but still want that social environment. As a company, we want our customers to be able to connect with one another no matter the circumstances. This idea of being connected is crucial for humans, and the pandemic has created a key issue of connection due to restrictions that are in place. Through Sip and Tell, customers can either come into our physical tasting room and beverage shop or purchase an educational beverage tasting with paired foods through our website. We didn't want our company to be restricted to only the Pullman area, which is why we came up with our online concept for people all around the United States. Learning about the background of a wine or beer can be more meaningful to the tasting experience, which is why we decided to offer educational tastings with a professional beverage expert, whether that be a winemaker or a brewmaster. These professionals will be able to teach the whole group attending the Zoom about what beverages they are tasting and different aspects of it. We want to be able to offer the best beverages on the market to our customers. And to accomplish this, we will be using the best wine and beers on the market while also using the voice of our winemaker and brewmaster to offer their opinions on what specific wine and berries to carry in our inventory. This concept of holding meetings or social gatherings over Zoom will continue on after the pandemic because it is a technology that will be used for friends and family who cannot be together. Our Zoom tastings are an opportunity for these friends and family to gather without the hassle of getting together in person. A perfect example of this service design is during the holidays when people want to be together, but it's not always possible. At Sip and Tell, we want to give you the opportunity to try the best beverages while sharing the experience with those you love wherever you love.
So, a little bit about our background research, how we got all of our information to come up with our final idea is we conducted interviews and we also published a survey. And this helped us to change our original idea and make it a little bit better and more financially intelligent and more reasonable in the business. So, first, we did the interviews, and the first interview was conducted with Justin Wiley, who is a winemaker and owner of Vapiano Winery in Walla Walla, Washington. Um, he kind of discussed in the interview how these virtual tastings exceeded his expectations and didn't realize that people would be so interested in them and excited to do them, especially in the heart of quarantine. And he also discussed how cool it was for some of his wine club members who, for example, live in Florida, far away, don't usually come to the winery and get to experience the in-person events. And it was cool that they could rebuild that connection and, do it virtually a little bit. These events are extremely financially smart because he said he's sold a lot of wine and it just kind of reminded people that they needed more wine, especially during quarantine. And when I asked him if he thought that partnering with a company like us would be smart, he said absolutely. He hired a consultant for all of his events and paid his consultant $500 per event, as well as a percentage of the sales that happened from the event. And he said that a lot of wineries don't have consultants and would love to partner with a company that can help and kind of take the stress off of their back. And then for the second interview, it was with JF Pillay, who is the winemaker and managing partner at Pepperbridge Winery, as well as Amavi Cellars. And when I asked if this was a good use of his time during quarantine to do these events, he said that any showing of the brand is really great and it just reminds people that they need to get more involved and buy more wine and they enjoy events like that. He did one event with El Gaucho and I asked how he kept everyone interacted, and he said that through him speaking and the chef as well as the sommelier, they kept the engagement with the people really great, and they got amazing feedback from all the wine dinners they did. As for the survey, we conducted a survey through the WSU survey app and posted it on Facebook and published it to like social media group chats. And we were trying to get a wide variety of responses from people to get an interesting group of feedback, which we find that we did. For the percentage of gender, we got 60% female and 40% male. And then for the percentage of people who enjoyed understanding the background elements of wine and beer, we got 75.5% were interested, while only 24.5% weren't interested. And then for the percentage of people who might enjoy sipping and learning about wine and beer from the comfort of their home, we only had 10% that said no, 73.5% said yes, and 16.3% said maybe. So this showed that people are definitely interested in our concept and want to learn more about it, even if right off the bat they don't know all the details. So, after doing our interviews and conducting the survey, there were some big shifts that we decided needed to be made to make our company more financially smart and just easier for customers to understand. So, our first shift was we had originally talked about sending them full meals, kind of like HelloFresh, where they would make the meals at home. And we decided that people would not be interested in making their own food and decided that we would send prepared charcuterie boards with high quality food on them, as well as desserts, depending on which group you decided to buy. And then our second shift was instead of having the winemaker or the brewer of the beer at every single event, instead we would just hire a sommelier and a brewmaster who would be at every event and be really knowledgeable about how the food and the drink pair together. But then we would have more expensive events that the winemaker could attend if you wanted to do that. It just wouldn't make sense for all of them to have the winemaker attending. And then for the final shift, we kind of had discussed that people could do a bunch of different options and kind of buy whatever they wanted, but financially that would make it not very smart, and the group would kind of be all over the place. So we decided that you have to buy the whole case of wine to be able to do that, even if it's just one person who is doing that, and or the whole case of beer. And this just makes everyone kind of be on the same page and easier for the presentation as well.
For our physical location, it'll be located in Pullman, Washington. Pullman has a population of 34,506, with an average age of 22 years old, which makes geographical marketing very interesting. We will have our tasting room at the formerly known as Cafe Mora, which is on Grand and Main, which is a very popular place of Pullman, Washington. The tasting room will allow to have a physical tasting and pairing, where we'll also have an outside area for unguided experience to enjoy a glass of wine or beer. Our core products of our operation will be wine and beer, where supplementary products will include our guided Zoom tasting, priority shipping, and the choice of a charcuterie or dessert board. Pricings will start at $170 for only the beverage. When it comes to the charcuterie board and dessert platters, we have two options. The classic being $205 for either 24 beers and 6 bottles of wine for the classic handpicked boards. And for the grand, it will be $235 with a little bit higher quality of ingredients. Shipping will be $25 for the first package of order and $20 for the second package of the order. It will come in an insulated packaging just so that the ingredients will stay fresh as soon as they get there. The service redesign, the original design would be the classic in-person tastings that you've seen at many wineries everywhere, where our redesign has this Zoom guided tastings so it can keep everyone connected, as we said, through COVID and even post COVID.
What makes Sip and Tell so unique is that we're able to target a larger audience by appealing to suitability, education, comfort, and simplicity, four very important aspects of a business in a time where we're all feeling the effects of a pandemic. For suitability, we're a business that allows you to choose what you want to sample whenever and wherever. For education, we offer a learning experience with each package you order, whether that be in person or over Zoom. We wanted to keep the learning experience the same as if you were tasting in person if you decided to do a Zoom tasting, which leads us to comfort. We allow you to participate in wine and beer tastings from the comfort of your home or enjoy a glass of wine or beer in person. It just depends on your preference. For simplicity, we wanted to keep the simplicity of the product by providing everything needed for a real tasting experience over Zoom, which is why we provide you with all the ingredients to make either a charcuterie board or a dessert platter that would be included and all set up in your package. Having an established target audience helps us create more efficient marketing messages as we promote our business. Here we see that a majority of the people who took our survey were between the ages of 25 to or 21 to 25. Throughout the pandemic, many people weren't allowed to go out, eat, drink, or even just enjoy the company of friends and family. Sip and Tell, however, allows you to still connect with your friends and family while participating in the fun activity of wine and beer tasting based on your level of comfort. For our competition, we have multiple different types of competition. To start off, we have in-person tasting rooms. First, we have Mary Cellars, which is a winery in Pullman that mainly focuses on different types of wine. Next, we have Paradise Creek Brewery, which is similar, just focusing on beer instead of wine. Sip and Tell offers both beer and wine without one overshadowing the other. Each beverage is encouraged to be tried with food pairings that they're accompanied by and a learning experience. This allows each individual to experience the learning, amazing food pairings, and memories with their friends while feeling comfortable with the tasting option of their choice. Next, we have sort of meal kits, which would include Hello Fresh and Blue Apron. These allow you to pretty much prepare your dish by following the instructions they give. We also have delivery services, DoorDash and Joyrun, which are companies that are mostly used in place of grocery shopping and are already cooked meals. What separates us from these companies is that everything is already prepared and prepped for you to set out and join the Zoom call with your friends and the beverage expert while enjoying different wine or beers with the specific pairings provided. Sip and Tell provides an easy, work-free, and safe option for those who miss going wine and beer tasting with their friends.
For the promotional and advertising section of Sip and Tell, we're going to have two main social medias and local stuff for our Pullman residents for our tasting room. So our social media is going to be mainly focused on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, where we're going to create aesthetics that match our colors, like the pinks and the grays, to really bring the aesthetic of our company to life. Then for our local flyers, we'll post them around campus and around Pullman just so that people know that our tasting room is open. And then we're also going to have Google ads that target people who Google search wine or beer tastings, because we are a global company and we'll be able to ship wine or beer along with the charcuterie boards to wherever someone wants to have the Zoom. The next part of our promotional is our customer loyalty program. So we're going to have two different programs. The Refer a Friend program, essentially after your Zoom tasting, we will send you a survey where you can fill out the survey with how your experience went, how the educational aspect went, and how all of like the food and beverage tasted. And then at the end of that survey, if you want to refer a friend and give us their like phone number and email, then you will get 20% off if your friend books a tasting. So you'll only get the discount if you're the person that you recommend books a tasting, and we will reach out to that person. Or you can do a monthly subscription where you will get a monthly package of our favorite wine or beer. And you will also get 10% off every Zoom tasting that you book if you are a monthly subscriber.
So here we have some examples of our Instagram promotions for our loyalty programs. So as you can see, they both feature wine, which is a big piece of it. And they feature our two main promotions that Kira just talked about, the 10% off a tasting experience as a monthly subscriber, as well as our refer a friend promotion, where you get 20% off your next tasting when your friend purchases a tasting with us. Both of these Instagram promotions feature wine, one of our main beverage choices, and they are displayed as phone notifications, a trend that has been seen all over social media. The second promotion with the two people cheersing their glasses represents our idea of coming together and enjoying something with those you love. This is an example of our grand opening flyer that we're going to put in Pullman for people to see and for us to promote the opening of our Pullman location. It matches our colors and aesthetic using neutral pinks and beautiful visuals. The flyer has a location of our tasting room and buying room, as well as our hours of operation. So here is the flowchart of our ordering process for our online service. It kind of walks through everything and how a customer would go onto our website and order something from our website. And this just makes it easy for us to understand and plan out how the ordering process will take place, and will also help us navigate the operations of it when we have to create a website in the future. And then this is a flow chart for a Zoom tasting process. Once again, kind of helping us go step by step through how a Zoom tasting would look and what the steps would be like for that. And this will benefit us because we are able to see where things might go wrong in a Zoom tasting process. And this just lays it out in a nice way that is easy for us to process. And then here is an example of our website front page. So our website front page will have all of our social media pages linked, as you can see on the left side. So customers will have easy access to these accounts to keep up with our company and our services. In addition to social media accounts, we will have our email linked for customers to contact us whenever they please if they have any sort of questions or concerns. We will also have different pages such as the About Us page, what we offer, news, and order. About Us will let our customers know all of the details of how we started, what we stand for, and our goals as a company. What we offer will be an overview of our different wine and beers, as well as our food and educational tasting, and we'll have all the extra information customers might want to know. The news page will have all the news related to our company and the beer and wine industry. And last, customers can go to the order page in order to place an order with us. And then here as a conclusion, at Sip and Tell, we want to give you the opportunity to try the best beverages while sharing the experience with those you love wherever you love, because who doesn't love good beverages at a good price? And thank you.